As you grow, you collect judgments about people through your interaction and data from scriptures and books. These two together make up your whole mental setup. Anything that you see through this mental setup. Anything that you see becomes merely a supportive argument to your already formed conclusions. You are almost like a corpse. There is no scope for any growth in you. You are all the time looking through a glass of a particular color, a color that you have painted. You can't imagine how much you are missing out in this wonder-filled world because of this. A small story. A man was telling his friend, "Do you know, I really made a fool of myself." The friend asked, "Why? What happened?" The man said, "I replaced 10 cracked windows in my house and then discovered that I had a crack in my glasses." If we just look inward for one moment, we will understand that we are the common factor in all that we see. But we never want to look in. We feel that we know everything, and there starts the problem. Mundane knowledge simply doesn't give us a chance to evolve. The most dangerous thing in this is, you feel you are solidified with your knowledge. You feel you have become a solid character by virtue of your knowledge. Little do you know that you have become a burden on your being and nothing else. Your being is a river, and you have made it stagnate with the so-called knowledge. Real knowledge is in knowing how to drop the knowledge that comes your way and live like a child, flowing with spontaneity. You need to move from ego to spontaneity. We are all ready to categorize and label all that we see in our lives. In the event, we simply rob life of its spontaneity. We categorize people, we categorize places, situations, everything that comes our way. A small story. A man once went to a movie theater to watch a film. The film started with the caption of a famous international studio which had produced that film. The man said to himself, "Oh, I have seen this movie before," and he got up and walked away. Every movie of that production comes with the stamp of that particular studio, and the man concluded upon seeing it that he had seen the movie before. He simply missed, that's all. This is how we all are. Adults especially. Children are not like that. They see everything with a freshness. They are so full of life. They are not dead like adults. When you go to the beach, just watch the children. How excited they are. Whereas when you go to the beach, you feel you know the beach already. Even the incomparable freshness and beauty of nature comes through your tinted eyeglass. You are not able to drop the glass you are holding. The beach simply becomes yet another place for you to reinforce your so-called knowledge. Let me tell you, if at all you feel you are not enjoying life, it is because of your mind, because of your solid ego, not because life is not beautiful. A man went to Switzerland for a holiday and he returned after a month. He met his friend one evening and decided to go out for a meal. The friend asked him, "So did you enjoy the beautiful scenery in Switzerland?" The man replied, "Yes, kind of. But the mountains kept coming in the way." We are so insensitive. We are so far away from nature. There is so much of beauty around us, but we are incapable of enjoying it, and we complain that there is nothing to enjoy. The capacity to enjoy is within you. Don't blame anything outside for it. As a child, You enjoyed everything around you. What happened after that? You became serious and forgot how to enjoy. You got dulled by your so-called knowledge. As I told you earlier, people often ask me, Swamiji, how is it that with all your knowledge, you seem like a child? Every time you crack a joke, you laugh so spontaneously, and we look at you with awe. When you start telling a joke, sometimes we've heard you say it before and so we don't laugh. But you enjoy it as much as if someone were telling you the joke for the first time. You see, this is exactly what I mean when I say you've lost your spontaneity and capacity to enjoy. You acquire a know-all attitude with all your knowledge. Now that I've told you this, let me tell you a story that I repeat very often in my talks and which makes me laugh even now. In the villages in Tamil Nadu, during the yearly temple festivals, there will be a temporary stage constructed in the open where famous drama troupes will enact plays, mostly scenes from great Hindu epics like the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. I used to go and watch those dramas. On one such occasion, they were enacting the scene from Mahabharata where Draupadi is disrobed by Duryodhana and she is ultimately saved by Lord Krishna. The Draupadi character was played by a man dressed in a sari. As per the plan, he would wear 7 saris, one on top of the other, and Duryodhana would pull them out one after the other, keeping account. When the 7th sari is reached, Draupadi would scream to Lord Krishna for help and Krishna would appear. Somehow, the Draupadi character missed out 1 sari while getting dressed and wore only 6 saris. On stage, Duryodhana started pulling, and suddenly, when the 6th sari was being pulled, Draupadi realized the mistake. He started screaming, "Hey, leave it," to Duryodhana. Duryodhana thought that Draupadi was playing her role so beautifully and continued to pull. Finally, Draupadi was standing on the stage with just half trousers and a blouse with the makeup of a woman. But he had good presence of mind and he screamed, "Oh Krishna, how gracious you are! You changed my gender to save me from shame." Even now, if I think of that scene, I can't stop laughing. So understand, knowledge is all right, but don't use it to solidify yourself. Your inherent nature is river-like, flowing. Spontaneity is your nature. You have moved away from it with the help of so-called knowledge. If you live innocently, a whole new world will open up for you. Just encounter every moment with openness. Don't have any preconceived notions. If you live like this, nothing will be mundane to you. You will then see that even your own wife, whom you have been living with every day, is so fresh and enjoyable. When this becomes your attitude, there is every possibility that the other person feels the openness in you and opens out to you in more enjoyable ways. It then becomes a positive cycle where you move from freshness to freshness every moment. Then there is only freshness everywhere. Nothing is stale. When you live with ego, you need some paraphernalia, some support, some people around you all the time. This support is what gives you your identity. Without that, you are a nobody. A king is a king only when he has his kingdom. On the other hand, a Paramahamsa is a man who needs nothing and sleeps when he stretches his leg and eats when he stretches his hand. He simply follows the flow of existence. He is a realized soul and a king unto himself. He needs no kingdom. But when you become a Paramahamsa, a great kingdom will automatically form around you, but you will be neither touched nor tainted by it. Only the weak ones create a kingdom for